Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 371. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
What's up, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale,
How you doing? How you doing?
and Brian Manjoma.
What up, what up, what up?
All right, we're back with another one. You already know, and another crazy week in gaming. Although nobody was bought, no acquisitions, none of that. So we got a little bit of a respite from all that. But news did come. But we promised you something, right? And we're gonna deliver right here, right now, live. The Sony and Nintendo financials, man. So I'm gonna hand the show over to Chris right now, and we're gonna look at the numbers, the facts. All right, man.
It's too bad we don't. It's too bad we don't have
We
like
need
that
like
little-
music, like
Yeah, like-
Incoming news from the stock exchange.
yeah, right, yeah. We should have done it fucking.
We go to you, Chris.
Yeah.
Right.
Then dudes jumping out of buildings and shit when they loosen
with the
the money.
financial report. Please inform us of all the latest mumbo and jumbo. Thank you.
All right, let's go over these financials. Chris, hit us with them graphics.
Okay, here we go. Is this working?
Here we go. Yes. All right, people, you're getting
Okay.
treated to the financials.
Yeah, so I'll start with the numbers here. And I guess I'll start with the Nintendo does theirs. They don't just do 3-month breakdowns, they do 9 months. So as the fiscal year progresses, Q1 is 3 months, and then they'll do Q2 will be a 6-month breakdown.
Yeah.
Q3 is a 9-month breakdown, and then of course you have the full fiscal year, which we'll do on the show in April when they release it to the public. But so I had to look at this as a 9-month. I couldn't condense it, whereas Sony I can. Like Sony gives you the quarter and they give you the 9 months. So that's nice that they do that, and I wish Nintendo did that, and they don't, so I don't have it. But anyway, Nintendo overall sales has been down. Even though they've hit a milestone, are the Switch has now topped Wii sales, so it's now the I think it's like the second highest. I think the DS is still king for them,
It's
but
cream of the crop. Oh,
but-
yeah.
well, in terms
Wait,
of consoles,
the DS? Oh man.
yeah, I have to go back and find
Yeah,
the lifetime sales of the DS, but I think it was higher.
that's wild. It's
I don't know.
wild.
Somebody can
Weird,
correct me. I
wild.
don't want to give. I don't want to allegedly. I'll say
Yeah, unless they
allegedly.
say allegedly.
Yeah,
There we go. There we go.
because I'm not sure. But they in their statement. Let me go back here. Where's the? Let me go to the breakdown. So they said over the 9 months, unit sales for the entire Nintendo Switch family declined 21.4% year on year. But it still sold 18.95 million units. So and they break it down: 11.79 units of Switch, 3.99 of the OLED, and 3.17 of the Lite. And they said software sales grew 1.8% year on year. And while that sounds good, it's still a loss, right? So in millions of US dollars, that's like about roughly a 5.4% drop in profit. And so it's like, well, you have to look at I mean, you could say, oh, the Rona cut supply, so they sold less, or and that, but they actually don't really blame the Rona for that. They blamed slowing slowing
Gibson.
sales
Oh.
in general. No, no. They said that that they had a gangbuster year the year before, Animal Crossing, and they said Pokemon did well and whatever, but that's all fizzled out. And then that to me says that they their year was lackluster because they didn't have the software to back up the hardware sales. Like you can't just you can't lean on one or two titles, right? And it's like their holiday this year, again, this last holiday was another Pokemon game. This time was the Diamond and Pearl remake. Um, the what's his name, the Arceus Legends didn't come out till January 28th, which would barely impact this report. And and they didn't have another title like Animal Crossing come out. And then I mean we'll talk about the direct later, but still their best-selling game is Mario Kart. It's still a port of a Wii U game. So without that, and then people have still been waiting for Zelda news, which spoiler alert, that didn't come with that direct either. So that is impacting their hardware sales. They don't have the software to really keep pushing it year over year. So they
I guess
had a
Metroid
great
fell
year
off.
before. I'll show you Metroid's sales numbers. Metroid broke the million sales, but not by much.
Metroid games aren't really big sellers like that, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they're
especially
oh,
like even the regular ones, like I mean not the regular ones, like the 2D ones, like second what is it, the DS one that came out, the 3DS one that came out a couple years ago,
what
and this
Samus
one,
Returns? That one?
Samus Returns and Dread, they're kind of like one in the same, like in terms of general hype when it comes to and the Nintendo people don't even hype up Metroid like they hype up the other, like fucking Mario Kart.
Well, I will give it that it made close to in that span of time, and it only came out in September of last year. So it sold 2.74 million units, but it
Pretty
got
good.
topped by a lot of other stuff. But yeah, it did pretty good, and it cracked the million cycle. I was looking at this chart, and I was kind of shocked that like Link's Awakening's not on here. But yet, somehow Big Brain Academy cracked this chart, and I was like, I don't even remember them advertising that game. I didn't even know it existed. And WarioWare cracked it, which I was shocked because WarioWare is more niche than anything. Like,
Yeah.
But it's 1.24 million. That's the lifetime so far because it only came out for holiday. Game Builder Garage, I had no idea what that was, but it cracked a million. But the top seller you can see is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is lifetime 43.35 million units of that game, and then second behind it is Animal Crossing. It's 37.62 million units worldwide.
Absolutely insane.
And it's like even Breath of the Wild is not close to that. It's like 12 million behind that, 25.8 million units lifetime, right? Then you think, okay, Zelda and then Mario Odyssey's behind that at 23 million. So it's like that's how powerful Animal Crossing was. That's why they had that gangbuster year. And I did that report for you, and that's pushed hardware. There were people literally buying a second Switch just to play Animal Crossing. That played out
What?
like yeah, they were getting the exclusive. They released an exclusive Switch with that
Oh
was
yeah.
branded with the stuff, right? They were
This.
buying the Switch just for this game, and there's plenty of people who just play. That's Nintendo's problem that has been since the Wii. People who just play one game. There
Yeah.
are people just in it to play Animal Crossing, and that is a problem that's affecting these numbers. So when I go back here and I show you that they have this dip, and they're saying, "Oh well, we didn't have the strong software," but you're doing the same evergreen mistake you did last time. You're enticing people to just enter for one game, and they don't engage with anything else. They're not going on the eShop and going, "Well, what else can I buy? Well, maybe I'll try Pokemon, or maybe I'll try Mario, or Mario Rabbids, or Donkey Kong." No, they are done. They play their Animal Crossing, they're happy, and they're out. Right? This is Wii Fit and all that stuff all over again. They're just in it for the one game. So that is a problem that's only going to be solved if you can keep your pipeline going. And I talked about this last year. I said if you're not going to be consistent with releasing Mario and Zelda, your key titles, and keep a flow where it's like, okay, we have a Star Fox coming, we have a Metroid coming, we have Mario coming, which is always big. We have a Zelda coming, Breath of the Wild. They haven't dropped a trailer or news of Breath of the Wild 2 in over a year. So this direct, which everybody was like, "Oh, they're going to talk about Zelda," and they
Of
didn't.
course. Yeah.
It was a year ago that they talked about Skyward Sword, where Aonuma came out and said, "Oh, you think I'm going to talk about Breath of the Wild, but I'm actually going to talk about Skyward Sword." So it's like, what? So it's been over a year since he even had a fresh trailer or fresh news from Nintendo on that game, and I called it. I said that game is not going to come out to probably at best holiday this year, and we'll go for the direct. But I have to say, I did call that. They did not mention it at all, and people are pissed. All right, so let me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting sidetracked. Let me get
Yeah,
back
I know
to.
that, but I just got to say this, and I'm gonna probably repeat this a couple of times this episode. Nintendo fans are different. Nintendo fans are different.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway,
We'll get into that.
yeah, continue, sir.
So yeah. I mean, this is. I'll move on to Sony now. There's not much else to say about Nintendo's issues. Those issues are going to continue. When I do their fiscal year report, you're going to see a downturn, right? Year over year, you're going to see a downturn. And I'll just say it's because they had strong software the year before and nothing the year after. They were still leaning on Pokemon for the holiday. They still did it. They don't have Zelda ready. I'm pretty sure they wanted it ready, and for whatever reason, you could say Rona or whatever, they don't have it. They're not going to have it probably till holiday this year. So that's going to be tough for them. And going into this next fiscal year, which starts April 1st, I mean, shit, I'm getting ahead of myself. If they are relying on their holiday this year, that means the first 2 quarters of this year are going to be abysmal for them until they put out a heavy for the holiday,
Yeah.
right? So that and that is what it is. So with PlayStation though, while their 9 month year over year was actually better, unfortunately their operating profit was down because they put more marketing behind stuff, but they had lower hardware sales and
Yeah.
lower software sales overall to make up for it. So I'll just go into their. Let me find where I put their.
Just double checking to make sure none of those tabs are Twitch girls deep throating stuff. All right,
No,
you're
no,
good.
this
You're
is
good.
all.
You're
This is
good.
all. This is all business.
All
So,
right.
so just looking at the 3 months year over year, you can see I broke it down by segment. I usually do this to show all Sony as an entire company and just
Yeah.
show you like the the pie that's like, okay, what brings in the revenue for Sony, right? So if you look at, and I labeled these charts the Q3 right there, but it does on top. So Q3 2020, PlayStation accounted for about, adjusted for inflation, 32% of the overall company revenue. So it was the main revenue generator for the company, right? And then close behind it was electronic products. So that's the TVs and their circuits and everything is all wrapped up in there. And then, pictures, music, imaging, all that stuff. And their financial services, which is just a Japanese only thing, it's actually big business. If you look at this, the year before is 15.3%. That's almost their music and pictures segment added
What
up.
is the financial services that they do?
Um, Basically like what TD Waterhouse or another company would do here.
Interesting.
Retirement, investments, things like that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, they
Okay.
they provide that service, but it's only in Japan. Um, with this year, there was a shift, right? So PlayStation had a downturn. They had lower than expected hardware sales, and actually they lowered their projections for overall hardware sales for the fiscal year, so
That's
they
right.
expect a downturn. They said they had lower than expected software sales as well on first party and non first party titles. So so PlayStation took a hit in profits, and you see it's about an 8% difference if you convert it to US dollars. What if you notice something interesting, and I'll just highlight Sony Pictures. Sony Pictures had 140.96% increase in
Gee,
profit.
I wonder
And
why.
yeah, I don't know. Spider Man.
Spider
That
Man.
shit.
Spider-Man is the
Yeah.
Yeah.
man with the
Chris, you
plan.
could even say that jump was radioactive.
I mean, that is insanely impressive.
Yeah.
So I'll just go. They break this down here. So like I said, sales they said decrease in sales of hardware and peripheral devices, decrease in sales of non-first-party titles, including add-on content, and decrease in sales for first-party titles. So, like I said, they had overhaul hit on software and hardware, right? And their operating income, of course, was impacted by the same thing. With you go down to pictures though, and singularly increase in theatrical revenue primarily due to the
Mm-hmm.
contribution of Spider-Man No Way Home and Venom Let There
I
Be
forgot
Carnage.
Venom actually did very, very well. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So they also said higher sales of this is interesting, higher sales of television productions due to the licensing of Seinfeld
Interesting.
and higher sales for media networks resulting from the Crunchyroll acquisition.
Oh, wow.
So that actually made them a good amount of money. And they did something with Game Show Network. I didn't even know they owned that. But they transferred it or they sold. I don't know what they did, but that earned them a bunch of money. But that's always interesting. I always point out, like I'm always like, yeah, Sony Pictures is always lagging behind. Well, they exploded
Yeah.
this last quarter. Um, and let's see, I don't. Yeah, so this I just do a breakdown of hardware profits. You can see here, um, what is this in millions of US dollars? It's their profits kind of dropped about 22% if you convert it to US dollars. Software just had a slight jump of
Yeah.
0.12%. They did have an increase in network services though. So PSN had
Yeah.
an increase in revenue and signups. So that was pretty much good. But the projection for the future, the near future, is they're still gonna have a hard time um, getting product out, and so they predict a loss in revenue from hardware sales. Now, the software side, that's going to change because the generation's actually going to start this year. We're going to get some next gen titles, so hopefully that will improve their software sales and
Well, wait,
offset
hold on. Do
the
we have some
losses.
next gen titles coming this year?
I thought we did. We don't?
I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn's on PS4. God of War's on PS4.
Oh,
So you don't really count those.
is there any third party hope?
Not that I know of. If you guys in the chat can
Okay.
tell us, please let us know. But as far as I know, most games are cross gen this year, man.
All right. Well, they'll have to hope that even though those are on PS4 and PS5, they still count for
Yeah, they
towards
do.
the net sales.
Well, yeah,
So
you
they'll have
notice
to
it
hope.
said PlayStation. It doesn't say PS4 or PS5. It says PlayStation. So,
Yeah.
and Chris, I'm wondering if that's also the reason why they're like, let's just pump out more PS4s because it all goes to the same place, you know?
Yeah. They have done that, and I guess it's easier for them to put out PS4 product because the fabs and all this stuff is easier to fabricate
Yeah,
than PS5, so they can get more into market and they offer it at a lower price.
yeah,
Basically, they can produce it like at no loss, like they actually make profit. So that's why they do that. And then it doesn't matter. It's like, okay, if you buy it on PS4, then what do they care, right? You play God of War Ragnarok or Horizon, it's the same the money to them. And you have the PSN signups, right? And that's what you want. You want people on board. And the thing is, like, people are going to be stuck with this kind of stringent lack of hardware for the foreseeable future. There's just not enough resources to go around. And Tony, you sent that thing out. Like the wafer,
yeah.
one of the main suppliers of silicon wafers said they're sold out to like 2026, which is insane.
Yes, fucking nuts.
So in the near future, there's just not enough. Like everybody needs the silicon and and the fabs to produce chips, and it's not just for game systems. It's PCs, NVIDIA cards, and for automobiles. So there's a ton of auto manufacturers that have supply issues because they can't get boards in the cars.
Yeah,
And if you read like Jeep and Chrysler and Toyota and all these guys had to shut down some production because they just don't have enough boards. You can manufacture a car if you don't have a computer in it, it's worthless. So yeah, so that's gonna be with us for a while. I don't know when that will be
man,
resolved.
they need to start cranking out some old school cars with the roll down windows and shit.
Yeah, right. Build some classic cars.
That's wild.
Yeah, so this This is a small snapshot, and I'll do the fiscal year report in April for both companies. And I apologize, I don't have Microsoft's report because I don't have time to decipher their insanely huge report and just get the one paragraph where they talk about Xbox in like a 40-page financial. So
Yeah.
I'll just save it for the big one. I'll
You don't
save it for
talk
the
about
fiscal year.
Xbox because you're a bunch of ponies.
But I talked about Nintendo. What are you talking about? Yes, come on. But anyway, um both of them are down, right? And Nintendo's reasoning is more as like software's not pushing hardware, and Sony's reason is they don't have enough hardware, so they're getting impacted by lack of sales, and they have a lack of software, so their software sales are decreasing. So that's a two-pronged problem that they have to solve.
Damn. Yeah, that's yeah. I get. Yeah, we're not really gonna see the end of this stuff for all. It's gonna be interesting to see what, like, if sales keep going. And like we talked about, was it last week? Remember, for a long time, the PS5 was the fastest selling PlayStation, right? Best selling PlayStation. At the for the same amount of time. That ain't the case anymore. Things have slowed down. And like you said, Sony lowered their projections. So, and yeah, that's just gonna be just the way of it for the foreseeable future, unfortunately.
Yep.
Damn and
So
then Nintendo, I mean, they're gonna try to spin it however they're gonna spin it, but it's like you guys are stuck in the same rut too. But the thing is, they're even in a worse position because, like you said, there's no games right now. They need something.
yeah,
But again, what are they gonna do? They're gonna just. I think they're just gonna like kind of coast through this entire year and then rely on something big at the end of the year. And then talk
yes,
about how successful everything was.
They,
right.
they have such a back catalog just from the NES, Super NES. Then just focus on that and start pumping them out every month. At least they'll get money in subs if they were doing that. But they don't even do that shit.
Yeah.
They
No,
sprinkle out whenever they feel
Nintendo's
like it.
Nintendo never makes sense.
It's bullshit. So if you can't get games on one end, but you have this back catalog for the older ones, it's like, you know what? Let's come up with a new packaging, a new marketing strategy, and say, hey, every 2 weeks we're gonna have some game. Boop, 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 boop. Sign up. They're not even doing it.
Yeah, no, all they do is port shit from the Wii U. But yeah,
Yeah, so
good.
yeah, oh no, that's pretty much it. I mean, yes, they could have a smarter strategy for Nintendo, but they don't. They really don't. And that's the thing. It's like they're saying, "Oh, Nintendo Switch Online is doing well." I'm like, "Is it? Like you put out two games maybe every so often on there. One maybe somebody wants to play. Like they were like, "Oh, we got Earthbound now." It's like, "Yay, okay." Is that worth the price of admission? When you could pull it at any time and switch the library around? Like,
Yeah, I don't know, Nintendo fans, man. All right, anybody have any questions about the financials? Any insights you guys want to share?
Not
Man, just looking into all this, like whenever you have a negative net year over year, it's pretty bad for any company.
Yeah.
Usually companies are supposed to grow, so it sucks. But I mean, in terms of the Switch, we'll talk about it when we discuss the direct, because I'm gonna put in a lot of my thoughts about
Uh-oh.
Nintendo there, but it's they're the complacent console.
So I'm guessing your statements will be controversial.
Oh yes, they'll definitely be very controversial. I will say that.
Oh man. All right, man. Let's move on, Chris. As always, thanks for that. That was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let us move on to some news. So we are still, reeling from the effects of all these acquisitions, right? Sony buying Bungie, Microsoft buying Activision, all that. Now this week it has come out because it was a little bit up in the air. Like, is Microsoft gonna keep Call of Duty as an exclusive? Because we saw with Bethesda, they're locking all that shit down, right? But there was questions about Call of Duty. I said it would be stupid of them to not lock it down. Like, I think they should lock it down. I maintain that, but it seems that they're not going to do that. They're going to keep it open. Microsoft will keep Call of Duty on PlayStation.
Let's read between the lines of what Uncle Phil said, though.
Yeah.
He said that the best experience of a Call of Duty is going to be on Xbox.
Of course.
So that means,
yeah,
that's telling me that they're going to have another franchise. They already have 4 Call of Duties. Different franchises. You got the Black Ops, you got the Warzone, you have the Standard Edition. So I have a feeling they're going to make a whole other series that's just going to be available on Xbox. So we'll get Call of Duty something else, some other name. Like we had the Modern Warfare and then Vanguard if they wanted to keep going in that direction with these side stories. But it's going to be another one, and I have a feeling that series is going to be the one that's just on Xbox. All the other ones will probably sprinkle onto the other platforms. But the fact that he said that, it was like, oh, there's going to be a better experience on the Xbox. It's not just going to be DLC. That's easy. If they say, oh yeah, guess season battle passes and all that, that's going to be on Xbox Day one first.
See, that's
and other ones.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because I took it. Here's the thing: he never said anything about easy. That's
no, I'm saying it's easy.
Yeah, no, okay, I got you. No, I was going to say that you said it for me, so thank you for saying that. No, my thing is the way I took that statement is like, it's the best experience because it's going to effectively be free on Game Pass, and I mean, Adam, you say no, but that DLC is going to be first on Game Pass. I guarantee you that. 3 months exclusive.
I said that's too easy.
No, it is easy, and that means exactly that's what they're going to do.
It's going to be there, but that's not enough.
No, but it actually is enough. Think about it. Here's the thing. Corporate speak, right? Best experience could literally just be, hey, they get the game for free and it's 15, and they get the DLC. That could be all they need to technically say it's a better experience. So I don't think you're going to make a single Call of Duty because it doesn't make any sense to make a Call of Duty. Yeah,
we talked about it before. The whole goal is to try to lure these players back that left, the pro gamers that left. Saying that it's still going to be available on PlayStation doesn't lure them back. They're like, oh well, I'll just stay where I'm at.
No, but some people are going to be like,
yeah, you offer another Call of Duty that's not available, that's brand new, so no one can bitch. They can't say, well, I've been playing this for like 4 years. No, you haven't. This is a new series, a new franchise, part of the universe of Call of Duty. This is all new, and it's only available on Xbox.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess we'll agree to disagree. I don't think that's going to happen at all.
Wait, what are you guys disagreeing?
Adam thinks that they're going to have an exclusive Call of Duty game on Xbox. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that, and this is my take on it. And I was because initially when this came out, I was confused. I'm like, what? Like, how do you spend $70 billion just to play nice, right? And then I was like, oh wait, that's exactly what they want to do. So I basically think this is all optics, right? Obviously, money usually is what motivates things, but I think in this case, with all that heat that's coming down from them from the FTC, potentially, they'll be like, all right, let's just say Call of Duty's thing on PlayStation, get these motherfuckers off our back. That's what I think is going on, It just seems very clear that Microsoft wants to project that image. Like, oh, no, we're not the bad guy. We're not trying to stop monopolizing shit. They're keeping Call of Duty. We're good. Stay the fuck away from us, Uncle Sam, So that's what I think is happening right here. Because otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, dude, this is the perfect opportunity to bolster Game Pass, right? So I'm like, why else would you squander it if it wasn't for the fact that you got, again, Uncle Sam at your back, So, Chris, what's your take on this?
Well, no, I agree with that. It's it's you have to have give and take, especially now that the FTC is involved. Right, so you're already Microsoft already decided, hey, Starfield exclusive to Xbox, and they can cherry pick whatever they want from Bethesda exclusive to Xbox, right? But you have to make the calculus like, all right, Activision had all these deals, they have contracts that we have to honor and stuff. So it's like, okay, we'll give everyone Call of Duty. That'll be like Minecraft. It's just there you go. We'll just keep Warzone? We'll keep updating it, and it's for everybody and whatever, and that. But Activision has a ton of other titles which they could keep exclusive, so that's a gimme. It looks good, right? Optically, it looks very good. Yeah, to the FTC, it looks good and whatever. So it kind of throws them off. Like, but they could do. Like in a year, they could decide, oh, you know what, we're gonna that StarCraft Ghost, we're gonna make it exclusive to Xbox, whatever. Anything new could be off the table for everyone else, but Xbox, what is it, Windows exclusive, right? It's just that. You hear that deep voice.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking about
Windows exclusive.
something we said on the last show. It's like it just seems like one of the kids of a member of the FTC was like, "Dad, they're gonna take Call of Duty away from me." Like, oh, word? Okay, we're gonna find out what's going on. But now they can be like, "Okay, it's okay, son. You get to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation." And the FTC backs off.
I just feel that this whole thing, they bought Activision, they see how much money it makes, and they know how consistent they are with making that money. It's like it's all about the status quo with Call of Duty, with the Activision games, or with the Blizzard games, that is. And making it exclusive takes some balls.
Yeah.
Be like,
Cojones.
imagine it does. Imagine Phil Spencer telling everyone, all of these PlayStation people who I think we talked about it last time. It's the majority of the Call of Duty players are either on PlayStation when it comes to consoles. Imagine telling those millions of people that they're not going to be able to play the new Call of Duty. It's going to provide big backlash.
Do you
Oh,
think
yeah.
if Sony was the one that bought Activision, they would have done it?
They would now because they're keeping Bungie
Well,
multi-plat. My
Yeah,
answer would have been different last month. But
Yeah,
now Sony's like, oh no, you guys get to keep it. We're cool.
Yeah, I'm with Tony on that one, because I would have thought that they would have made it exclusive, but with the Bungie stuff, it's like, they're doing the same thing. So they don't want that PR hit, and they don't want that PR hit to cut away at the bottom line, at the status quo of what they do. In my opinion, if I was Phil Spencer, I would make everything exclusive. Just hamstring the industry and make Game Pass the elite platform to play everything. That's how you're the boss. That's how you take care
That's
of
how you
business.
the
But
Don.
that's how you the Don. That's how
That's
you know.
how they become
gonna
also a
give it
super
a-
villain,
Yeah,
because
they
everyone's
can
like,
offer,
oh,
you
you're
can't
just trying to take
refuse.
everything over.
Well, they did it with the Bethesda stuff, but with the Bethesda stuff, people don't care nearly as much as they do with the other stuff.
Yeah.
And, when I'm pretty sure that the audience, the Call of Duty audience on PlayStation alone, is bigger than the whole Bethesda catalog combined.
You're probably right about that.
And-
No. Yeah, by the way, just injecting real quick, Carlos, I 100% agree. If I was Phil Spencer, I'd be like, no, you playing out my house.
On my TV?
On
On
my
my Game Pass?
on my platform.
On my cloud?
But anyway, continue. But yeah, I agree 100%. If I was Phil Spencer, I'd be like, all right, bro, we're doing this my way, my house.
It's like it just makes sense, because you have such a freaking juggernaut. You have the biggest megaton bomb in the planet, and you're not going to use it, and it's just a hypothetical. You're not going to hurt anyone really, but
Like I said, there's a calculus too to this. Like, so you could do that, right? You could just string everyone and say, hey, every single freaking IP that we just acquired is exclusive to Xbox going down the road, right? To the future. So there's a gain with that, but there's a potential loss. You could put off some people. You could the FTC could kind of rule against you if they see it's like, oh, wait a minute, this doesn't look good, and then you could have lawsuits. You could have potential breach of contract lawsuits and things like that. So the I think the smarter move is what he's doing, because you can leverage that against, hey, if you want to keep getting Call of Duty, like I would be like talking to Sony, and then it's like, but when it comes to Bungie or whoever else you acquire, hey, we expect a reciprocation that you make sure you're keeping things multi-platform, right? So because they have acquired so much that you can dole out a little bit to everyone and say like, hey, but we want to keep the reciprocation, so Sony has to keep, Destiny or whatever else Bungie makes. You got to make sure it's like multi-platform, it's shared among everyone and whatever. So there's that too, which can actually in the long term, increase profits. Whereas if you do just exclusivity across the board, you'll have a short-term gain, right? But you may put off some people, so you lose potential revenue. It's like, oh, people are like, fuck Microsoft, and they just leave, right? Or they just stay with Sony. Or they just pick their platform and they're like, I'll play something else. or Sony makes like a something that can compete, or maybe they work with EA, or EA collapses and they auction off Battlefield, and Sony takes Battlefield and actually makes it worthwhile. So you
Or
have to think about that.
or PlayStation players get start playing PlayStation All Stars and then realize how shitty their first party multiplayer games are, and then just like fuck it, get in an Xbox, $200. But all those are valid points. I just think that Microsoft is they're gonna. There's only one scenario in when they do the Switch, no pun intended. There once Call of Duty has the highest user base on an Xbox platform or a Game Pass platform, that's when they're gonna feel like they're confident enough to just make it exclusive. Because right now, most of the crowd is in the PlayStation side.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna alienate a whole bunch of people, and hope that they make the plunge and switch to the other side. But it's much easier when most of the crowd is already on your side. So I feel like whenever that happens, that's when they feel compelled to move it exclusivity to just the Xbox platform.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, once the majority of the players is on Xbox, they're like, all right, exclusive time.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be very
It
interesting.
might not even take long. Game Pass.
Yeah.
Having Call of Duty on Game Pass day one without having any extra fees and maybe the DLCs, that is huge.
Does anybody know how the MLB The Show did? Because remember, that was a big deal because that was exclusive for a long time to Sony.
It's funny you bring that up.
Did that boost?
It's a good question. No, it's funny you bring it up because I was talking to a friend. They were hyped for MLB, right? Like, yeah, I'm gonna get on PlayStation. I'm like, it's on Game Pass, right? They're like, oh shit. They made them think. You think that's not gonna happen with Call of Duty?
Well, the last one was on. That's what I'm saying. Well, that guy was out of the loop because the last one was also on Game Pass.
Yeah. But that's the point. People are gonna hesitate. They'll be like, wait a minute.
That's interesting because I didn't hear anything because I was curious to find out when that did come out if that was going to be a big jump of people that said, well, I just going to get an Xbox or I'll play it on my PC or whatever.
Yeah.
To play it through Game Pass, but I didn't hear much of that, and that's the only MLB game in town licensed.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's worth investigating. Just to see what.
Just think about it. Just think about it next year. What's going to happen, Adam? What big thing is going on this weekend? What big event?
What big event that is going on this
weekend?
Sports ball.
The
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
Oh, that's happening.
The Super Bowl is this weekend.
Carlos, you're asking the wrong crowd, man.
No, I said Adam.
Adam doesn't.
Adam is not.
He doesn't watch American football.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, Manny knew the Super Bowl was this weekend.
Yeah, I know.
No fucking
That's
idea.
That's because of Buddy.
Or I should say, you asked the wrong. Yeah, I guess you asked the wrong guy. He watches football. That's what he watches.
I asked.
Who's in this one? Who made it?
Well, the Rams and the Bengals. The Rams and the Bengals. But anyways, the point is.
Just imagine see Carlos in the spaces talking about that.
Yo, man, join the spaces, man. Just imagine the next Super Bowl. It's like Call of Duty. It could be a Call of Duty commercial. Who do you think is gonna be at the end of the commercial?
Know. You're gonna see. That Xbox logo. You already know.
That effect is huge, man.
Carlos, you fucked me up right now.
Oh.
Okay, and Manny, remember this happened so many times at GameStop, man. Go to GameStop. Oh man, I wish Call of Duty was on PlayStation. It is on PlayStation. Motherfuckers thought it was on Xbox on the 360 days, right? Because that's gonna happen. Dude's gonna be watching the Super Bowl. Oh shit! It's only on Xbox. Excuse me. Get an Xbox. Or like, oh fuck, I can't find an Xbox. It's okay, man. Game Pass. It'll be big. Or even better, it's like, oh shit, it's only on Series X. No, you could play it. You could play the best version of the game on your Xbox One through streaming, and it's gonna be butter. I'm telling you, man, this is another reason why it should have been exclusive. But I digress. But no, you're right. Think about it. Super Bowl, and that's gonna happen, right? Advertise that shit. Xbox logo, motherfuckers. I think it's the Xbox exclusive. because it always happens this way.
For a Call of Duty, they have to announce a new one though. They haven't announced.
No, we're talking about next Super Bowl, not this year's. The next year's Super Bowl. You already know when this deal gets finalized. It is next year, right? That when it gets finalized.
I think it's
or is it this year?
I don't know. No, 2023 sometime.
Next year, yeah.
Well, fiscal was it fiscal year 2023?
Yeah, but
or 2022 or something like that.
But yeah, I didn't even think about the year. Right, is everything Call of Duty related? Xbox. People are gonna think it's an exclusive. So there you go.
I'm just waiting for the day where there's a Super commercial of Heroes of the Storm.
You know.
And it has a remake of that song.
Do you think they're gonna keep the Activision name?
Yeah, they will because it has legacy and all that. They're not getting rid of Bethesda, you know.
No, I'm just thinking. No, yeah, but it doesn't have the stink right now that Activision has.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if they'll just keep it lower in the corner as like a nice Microsoft logo with the swoosh.
Oh yeah, it could be right there. It'll still be there, just kind of down there, Got to put on
from Microsoft
glasses
Game
and
Studios.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. They in the report they said they basically want Call of Duty to be like Minecraft, like just everywhere. I found that statement very interesting. But yeah, we'll see. Any last thoughts on this? Go ahead.
Matt Hoffman.
Yeah, Manny, go ahead.
No, I mean, I agree with the sentiments that have been said before. Where if I were Microsoft, I would lock it down. But if they want to have their cake and eat it, so be it.
Yeah. By the way, you guys are also watching Throwdown Draws as we do this episode.
Yes,
Manny's making the featured image. Yeah.
This is the featured image.
Manny, you basically said, "I agree with everything that has been said tonight."
Exactly, but I said it the Manny way.
Yeah, that is true. Shout out to Richard Bailey Jr., man. Oh, all right.
Right, Richard Bailey Jr.
Yes. Oh, yes. All right. Anything else on this?
Oh, let me see something.
Oh, Adam's looking. Oh, what's going on now?
No.
Should we keep it going, Adam?
I was just looking up reports about the show.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like it was like 4 million units were sold, and they said 2 million at least have been confirmed for the PlayStation, so they could just assume that the rest were coming from Game Pass.
Interesting.
But they were just going based off of the
but
player
damn,
base.
half. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That
is a lot.
Check out how much the last game sold, if that's possible.
Let's see. MLB The Show, was it 20?
20, yeah. All right, while you do that, we'll move on to the other big topic of the week, the Nintendo Direct. Another Nintendo Direct. And as always, what happens with all these Nintendo Directs, Nintendo fans get all hyped up. They go crazy on Twitter. And I'm just there going, what are we getting hyped for? It's like, whatever. But we're going to run down all the announcements. I'm reading, again, I always have to say this because I didn't watch this thing myself. I was working. It was the day the new Galaxy line got announced. I was very fucking busy, So I'm reading this off of Polygon. So if I don't discuss something, it's because of them. They didn't list it. So blame them, not me. I'm just the messenger. All right.
Man, don't shoot the messenger.
All right. So let's go down the line here. I'm just rattling these off as they're listed here. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 coming in September.
Okay.
All right. Any? Do we have any strong feelings about this? Actually, Carlos, should we show the trailers or not?
Well, I'm multitasking right now.
Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it then. It's not that important.
It's funny because they closed the show with that, and I know Kristen was watching it, and I'm like, "There's no Zelda here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it." I didn't know it was going to be Xenoblade because but I was positive. I was like, they're not going to show anything Zelda. And then they closed the show with this. And I'm like, that's good for Xenoblade people. And if you're an RPG fan, that's a good game. But for all the Zelda people, like they were just like crestfallen after the fucking show.
Yeah. We'll get to that. What happened?
Cope streams?
Cope stream, man. Yo, their Hope streams turned into Cope stream because these guys were sitting there watching this shit. They're like, oh, they're gonna close the show with Zelda. They're gonna tell, oh, here it comes, and then it was Xenoblade. Yo, these dudes were like, I should rethink my life. I should start reviewing other games.
The crazy thing is, it's been announced like multiple times, so I wonder why it ended the show like that.
Hope
I've-
streams become cope streams. I like that line. Hip hop gamer needs to have that line in a rap. All right. What's up? Oh! I gotta blow my nose.
I'm so looking for numbers. I can't find numbers, but according to all the reports, MLB The Show 20 was the most fastest and the best selling of the series, right? And it was on PlayStation, and mainly because the baseball season was put on hold due to the
Oh yeah,
coronavirus.
it did big that because of the
So
Rona. Yeah.
it did huge. They said a lot of people bought it. But I can't
Huge.
I can't find any numbers, but it's like this is from was it MPD groups?
Yeah, no, I remember we
reporting.
did discuss that on the show too.
Yeah, they said the sales were big for it, but can't
Yeah.
seem to find numbers.
All right, moving on to more Nintendo. Splatoon 3. Okay.
Yeah, not a huge Splatoon
It's
fan.
got co-op. That's the one good thing. I mean, my kids play it, and they were pissed that with at least Splatoon 2 and 1 also you can't have local co-op. So this one's now going to support local co-op. That's the only plus side that I saw from it.
Yeah. This one got the most attention, at least from my timeline. I'm like, why? Wii Sports sequel.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, they're it's basically Wii Sports all over again. It's just called Nintendo Switch Sports.
So it's gonna have the motion controls.
Yeah,
and all
they
that
showed
shit?
it too.
Wow.
They showed
Bowling.
them with the
Bowling.
Joy-Cons doing bowling, doing the volleyball. Even what's his name, the current president and Koizumi did a whole volleyball skit.
Isn't that was like 20 years ago? We're still doing this shit.
They're still doing it.
Wow.
Full motion controls and everything, just like the old days. And here's the thing, I talked about before in the report, like don't lean on this. Even if you bring in people and you do hardware sales, like you're going to get people buying it just for this game. You're not going to get an attachment after it where they go, oh, now I'm going to try Zelda or I'm going to try Pokemon. No, people will just buy for that. You're going to just get, oh, okay. You get casuals and they'll just play that and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? So you boost your hardware sales, but they're not engaged. They're not going to buy anything else.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a problem right there. Next up, we got Mario. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, what if they get slick about it and they add DLCs for more games to play? So it's like you buy the game and it's like, hey, do you want to play racquetball or something? You know, it's like,
Okay.
oh, pay $10 for this and download
I
it.
mean, they could do that, but if you're interested in that, because I'm sure the core games is enough for most people, right? Like even if you add racquetball and darts and all that stuff, and you make it pay DLC. Okay, so you're getting like chump change when you want people engaged in your software. You want them buying the next Mario and Zelda or Metroid or Donkey Kong or whatever. They're not going to do that.
Yeah. All right. Next up here, we have Mario Strikers, baseball game. It looks like.
No, it's not. It's soccer.
Oh, soccer. All right.
Yeah.
Again, that shows you how much I know about this shit or care, I should say.
Well, it came. Didn't it? It came out.
It was
years ago.
GameCube. Yeah, it's GameCube.
game.
Wow.
So I'm kind of shocked by that one that they actually
Didn't they
did another
also
one.
they also canceled that game because there was a lot of pushback from Nintendo because the people who were making it didn't make the characters look the way they were supposed to, as I remember years ago.
Yeah, probably because they were following the style of Strikers was very different from the standard style, you know, and that's why it was. I think that's why it was well liked because it was a little different. They were kind of sketchy and whatever. They kind of put that in this game, but only when they do their like super move.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like whatever.
Yeah. All right. So we have that. No Man's Sky coming to. Is this going to be a streamed game or is it like native?
I don't recall it being streamed.
Because I'm like, how the hell do you fit a game like that on Switch? You know?
Was it big, like graphic wise? Like when it comes to the size, it didn't look like it was that
I don't know.
intense.
It just seemed like the size of the world, but I mean, it's procedurally generated, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just like using assets in different locations.
so yeah. I guess if you need to play No Man's Sky on the go, there you have it. Next up, we have Fire Emblem Warriors. How many of these fucking games do they make? Like,
Fire Emblem?
Yeah, like it seems like they make like 2 games a year or something. You know?
Yeah, there's like the mainline games, and then they get Koei to make these Dynasty Warrior
Oh, is that what it is?
duplicates. Yeah, so they'll have like 3 houses or whatever.
Yeah.
Is like the main line Fire Emblem, and then they do this, right?
So what's this
Which is
thing? Three Hopes. Is
this
this?
this is Dynasty Warriors.
Oh,
That's all it
okay.
is.
All
Yeah.
right. I guess Fire Emblem Warriors tells you right there. All right.
Yeah. Just put
yeah.
warriors or dinosaur warriors on there, and
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So there's that. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp.
That's fine. That's probably one of the things that actually got me decently excited. But then again, I mean, we've already saw this last year when it got announced, so it's more like just
Yeah, that wasn't a surprise, but it's cool. Like people get to play those games. They were good.
Yeah. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Speaking about deep throating, right? This thing called mouthful mode where he just swallows everything. So what is it? Just reading this Kirby's newest 3D platforming adventure. All right, so I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, it's just a Kirby platforming game. It's similar to like sort of like a Mario game. It's just Kirby has its own unique sort of skill sets and stuff. It looks pretty cool. I've
never played a Kirby game, by the way. Never played those games, so I have no idea. So I'm glad you explained that. I'm like, I don't even know what these fucking games are. By the way, shout out to Big Daddy X for the 145 bits. Yeah, I know they were like on Game Boy and Nintendo and was super. I just never played them.
Just sort of missed the boat at that point.
It's not that I didn't want to play them. It's just I just never got around to it.
You're like, man, this looks stupid.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. It's just like whatever.
The only thing I know from it is that it was named after the lawyer. Remember from the console wars? That was
Kirby.
But that's Kirby is the name of the attorney who helped them win the Donkey Kong case.
Oh shit, that's funny.
And so they named a
Kirby
character after him. He's still alive, and he talked about it. He was like, yeah, he's like, that's cool. I'm in a game.
Yeah. All right, so there's that. Portal and Portal 2 ported to Switch. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love Portal as much as like a lot of people love it, but man, like this is people got excited about this, and I'm like, oh man,
Portal's dope. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, yo, we played this shit like 10 years ago.
Yeah, like
and
15 years
puzzles,
ago.
and it's puzzles, and they don't change. So if you know how to solve the puzzles, that's it. You're just gonna fly through it.
Well, it's like this game, Portal has been out for more than 2007. The first one came out.
Yeah, so it's 15 years.
Yeah,
it's over 15 years. People who haven't played this game, if they haven't played this game already, it's like they probably wouldn't play it now.
Yeah.
So
or they're Nintendo fans that don't play anything else.
Just the ability to have it on the go. Just say they have it. That type of thing.
Yeah.
Like Crisis for me. Like, why would you want to play that in this form? But yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, well, why would you want to play this form when you can play it on the Steam Deck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's been on Steam since day one.
That's true. Next up, the Mario Kart 8 is the biggest selling game, right, Chris? According to that report,
it over 43 million.
Amazing.
Lifetime.
Yeah. So yeah, right here, the biggest selling game on Nintendo Switch is getting DLC through 2023. Somebody made a joke. It's like, can we officially consider this a live service game at this point?
I mean, you can consider even Smash Brothers a live service.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers, Animal Crossing, all of those. They're live service games essentially. And man, this is the one that got me heated, man.
Oh.
It's a freaking Wii U game. People just seeing and this is the kind of thing that where I feel disconnected with the core fan base, because I watched and I made sure I watched several reactions. Everyone was freaking hyped that I saw about this, and I'm like, why aren't people pissed? It's fucking. They were expecting the new iteration of the game, Mario Kart 9, and they got a DLC for a Wii U port. Why aren't people more pissed off about it?
Because Nintendo fans just lap this stuff up, man. That's why.
This is the big news, and also, by the way, I also got to mention that this game is also being advertised as being available, or at least the maps, the 40 maps are being available for free on the subscription services. And I'm like, and I even tweeted, I'm like, yeah, Microsoft paid $70 billion to get Activision and Bethesda in their live services. Nintendo gets DLC maps for a Wii U game. It's ridiculous, man. It's like they're memeing themselves by doing this. And the fucking fan base is just eating all of it up.
Eating it up. They love it.
Oh man.
Nintendo fans are different.
They don't they don't care about innovating.
No,
they don't care about doing something new. At least adding one number to the title.
Well, Carlos, this is why they lost that investment. What's her name? Remember we talked about this?
Yeah.
They don't innovate, and that's why they lost a ton of investment money. That's why their stock fell.
That's true. And man, they can't.
I brought this up a long time ago. I said that they were going to release some DLC, and they did it. It took a while, but that was one of the things they brought up in their report. They were like, a lot of people have this game. Why make a new one? Just keep building on this. And that's what they're going to do.
80% of this conference was ports and DLC for games. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Like I don't.
No, but you see Twitter though. Oh my God, this is the most hyped thing ever. I am not exaggerating. You saw the things I was sending to you guys that day. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
This is the best Nintendo conference I've ever seen. It's man.
Oh, it's all the old maps from the previous ones.
You know who I blame for this? Ravi Drums.
Yeah.
He set the bar so fucking low that these Nintendo fans fucking beg for any type of positive news, that whenever they get a freaking DLC announcement, they fucking orgasm. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
It's
and
insane.
This is, and I hope people who are Nintendo fans and that might be upset, with me going after the company. It's like,
keep it real.
I've had every mainline Nintendo console since they started. I was born with a freaking NES. I have a Switch right now, and it's like, it sucks seeing a company that just does the least amount of effort to entice their fan base and to entice other fan bases, because they're not getting third parties the way they used to. They're not getting all the rare games that they used to have, the catalogs and Final Fantasies in the early days. They're just getting ports and salvaging there, and the fan base is eating it up, man.
And that's why Nintendo does it, because they know the fans don't ask for much. As long as they get their member berries, that's it. They're good.
That's all they fucking want, man.
Remember when they came out? Remember that?
Remember that? Like, that's all it is member berries.
It's the member berry show.
Look at this shit. This Nintendo Direct feels like an E3 keynote from 1999 in a good way. What?
What?
The fuck are they talking about? Here's another one. Sometimes you just know a Nintendo Direct is 10 out of 10. This one is already it for me, and we're only 15 minutes in.
It's it.
Oh my God.
It's over. They won the console war.
They won.
These people have not. I guarantee you, most of these people have never played an SNES when it came out. Compare the freaking SNES and all the fucking games it innovated and all the classic games it brought up, and it doesn't even compare. It pales in comparison with this, whatever the Switch is doing. Or no, the Switch pales in comparison to what they were doing. Chris mentioned the best-selling game is a Wii U game.
That's right.
Breath of the Wild is a top 5 selling game, and it's a Wii U game. It's ridiculous, man. We still haven't gotten another Mario game. Breath of the Wild, who knows what's going to happen. Metroid, man, I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
Oh, that's right, 4, yeah. By the way, speaking about Metroid, that's the last thing that's listed here. There's a new easy mode for Metroid Dread, and also a brutal mode, where it's like Dante Must Die mode. You get hit once you're dead. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I mean, Metroid Dread was hard, but I didn't think it was crazy hard. You know?
No.
Jaffe thought it was hard.
Yeah, well, you know, I love how Jaffe in his stream where he was trying to prove that the game has bad level design, proved that the game has excellent level design. You know, he's like, look at this, I can't go there, I can't go there, I can't go there. What is this? I'm like, yeah, the game's funneling you to a specific spot so you can learn how to play, bruh. You know, because he was in the beginning. It was still, yeah. It was like, what is this? What is going on? Like, why can't I go where I want? Like, this is bad game design. Like, no, it's not. The game's trying to teach you something. You know.
Wake up, Jaffe.
Yeah. Then he goes to one room. He's like, how come I can't leave this room? It's like, because you're not doing the thing you're supposed to do. That the game's clearly telling you. Because he's in the beginning, so he's tutorial shit, and he's just not listening. You know.
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. Jaffe character. You know. All right. Any thoughts on this Nintendo Direct?
I mean, wasn't there more shit on there?
I just listed whatever Polygon had, man. You know.
I mean, they did announce a remake of Klonoa. I mean, a remaster of Klonoa.
Wait, didn't they have? Where's the Chrono game? Wasn't that?
Yeah, there was a Chrono Cross. Yeah,
Chrono Cross was on there too.
Wow. So, like I said, listen, this is just what Polygon had. I don't know what else they had, and there was some other game that they brought back from like a long time ago.
Was
Live and Let Die or something? I don't know.
Oh, Live Life Alive that never came out in the U.S. So they brought that over. Shit, I'm trying to think what else. There was some other stuff.
All right,
too.
Polygon, you failed. Let me look.
Yeah, Polygon failed because there was a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, not that was super important, but there was other stuff. Yeah, the Chrono Cross thing. Was Chrono Cross on PS1 or?
Yeah, I think it was PS1. Yeah.
Yeah,
all right, here we go.
I'm
going to Shaq News. I like Shaq News. Right, Mario Strikers. We got that. Splatoon 3. Kirby. MLB The Show. Okay, MLB The Show 22.
Oh yeah.
Slides onto the Nintendo Switch. Okay, interesting. Nintendo Switch port. We talked about that. Switch Online adds Mother and Earthbound. Okay. Metroid Dread, 48 remastered courses coming up. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but looks like they don't list everything either.
Yeah, how did they not list the Chrono Cross thing?
No. Hold on. They list trailers. Front Mission first. What the fuck is that?
Oh, it's a remake of the original Front Mission.
Okay, so the Front Mission first. Chrono Cross. There it is. So this is a remaster of the PS1 game, right? Is that what it is?
So.
Manny, that's what you showed me earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Klonoa, what is that?
That is
an old
PlayStation.
platformer.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
PS2.
Well, let me rephrase the question. What is this specific Klonoa game? Like, is it a remaster?
I think it's 1 and 2. I think it's just one and two combined.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a remaster.
So it's like a collection, remaster collection.
Yeah.
With the first and second game.
Okay, got it. Because I was like, what is this? A new game, old game? What is this?
Oh, it's an old game, just remastered.
Yeah. Live a Life or Live Alive.
Yeah, that's the Japanese game that didn't come out here.
It's an RPG that never came here.
Okay. Triangle Strategy. Looks like Octopath or something. What is this?
Yeah, it's a sprite.
That's what I thought.
Like a sprite. Yeah, I thought it was like, oh shit, Octopath sequel.
Me?
But nah, it's something else.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. I think that's the whole show then. We'll go to Shaq News next time. Polygon missing shit, you know. All right. I don't really. Again, it's a Nintendo Direct, man. You know.
Only two things that I really cared about or really impressed me was Advanced Wars and Kirby. I think everything else, you know. I know a lot of people are fans of Xenoblade Chronicles, so you know, good for them. Splatoon 3. I'm not a fan of either of those games, so
yeah, whatever. All right. Do I have the next? Yes, I do. All right. So this one's kind of funny because we all know the drama that happened with Platinum Games and Scalebound and Xbox and all that, right? Apparently, Platinum Games is now appealing to Xbox to bring Scalebound back. Ain't that something, you know? And I'm guessing it's because, you know, they see what's going on with all these acquisitions and all that. Game Pass doing so well. They're like, hey, we want to come back, you know? Yeah, let me see. What is this? Speaking to IGN Japan, Platinum President. I like that. Platinum President Atsushi Inaba explained that Scalebound creator Hideki Kamiya has been talking about wanting to work on Scalebound again for a while. Kamiya added, "I'd like to appeal to Phil Spencer directly. Let's do it, Phil." Exclamation points. I wonder what brought this change of heart.
Did he unblock him?
Yeah, did he?
I mean, there was some interesting stuff because it was actually Platinum Games' anniversary pretty recently, and there was a bunch of like flowers that they had inside of their lobby from a bunch of different companies congratulating them, and one of them said Microsoft Phil Spencer. So I mean, obviously, I'm like, I guess this means there's no hard feelings, but I mean, yeah, maybe they're like, let's try to get this thing done. I mean, it would be cool.
Well, it would be cool for Platinum Games finessing cash out of Microsoft and leveraging it for another title. But
well, I mean, to be honest, it's like Nier is the game that saved them after Scalebound fell apart. So who knows? I mean, maybe they need the money.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right.
I mean,
how many Platinum games are in development right now? I don't know.
I have no idea.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're seeing how much money Microsoft is just tossing around at games. They're probably like, "Hey, you want us to make a game for you? You want to subsidize it? All right." They know that's where the money's at.
Oh, things just got very interesting, and I'm using that phrase specifically right now.
Oh,
yeah.
First time in the chat, Sir Rich-a-Lot. We know who that is.
Whoa!
Mr. Richard Beatty Jr.
You must have heard him. Must have heard us talking about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Must have been ringing.
So yeah, I mean, it would be cool to get Scalebound back in some form. Maybe make it an Xbox Game Pass exclusive or something.
Well, and did you guys see there's a contingency of Xbox people. There's like, well, if you think about it, it never looked at Scalebound never looked at.
Yeah, here we go.
As if they weren't fucking putting all their fucking chips on that fucking game a couple years ago.
Yeah, fanboys are the same, man. No matter what platform they're on,
Mm-hmm.
Like
unless it's Nintendo.
Yeah, again, Nintendo fans are different.
They're different.
They're a different breed of fanboy. But yeah, we'll see. Obviously, this is not anything official, but I mean, Hideki Kamiya himself wants to do it, so excuse me, we shall see.
We shall
see. Gasping.
Yeah, that was a big gasping. Yeah, that was a reverse hiccup. Phil Spencer doesn't care about the Japanese market anymore. They have too many Western game developers. That's what Mighty Nerd says. Richard says, tell Platinum Games to get working on the next Nier instead.
I mean, it's funny because they didn't work on the last Nier.
No, they didn't. Well, that's why he wants them. Yeah, that's why he wants them to work on the next one. That's what people really want.
Is that Nier Automata? Is that what it's called?
The new, not the new one, but the
one
latest
with the
one.
chick that she turns into a plane and she does that whole thing. Is that it? With the sword?
Yeah, that's in your top.
Yeah, she doesn't turn into a plane, but she does have a robot.
Yeah,
I played that. I was playing that last night. It's on Game Pass. I was playing it. I was like, "What the hell is this shit?" It's weird. It's like you're going from a side-scrolling to a schmo, and it's like then you get to
it changes.
Look at you trying some games you never played before.
There you go. It's true. I was trying to get my points because I'm earning my monies in it.
Oh, Brett showed up.
Hey, what a mess.
The majority of the show. Yeah,
Microsoft bought Disney now. And
yeah,
so talking about the.
Okay, I hear they're planning to buy the Sun.
Yeah. Who are they going to buy it from, though?
Space aliens.
Space, yeah.
Well, whatever Marvel character.
Shoot a bunch of money into space, direct deposit,
Yes, just shoot a bunch of cash into space and then say you own the Sun. Simple.
Yeah. All right, next up, what do we have here? I want to talk about Steam Deck.
I like Steam Deck.
Yeah, so apparently the Steam Deck, this one seems like a pretty obvious story, though. It's like Steam Deck can drain battery in 90 minutes if you don't cap the frames per second. Yeah, no shit. Yeah. What do you expect? So, like, we talk about this, like, if you're going to be playing Steam Deck, you're going to have to adjust settings in a game because, that shit's going to drain that battery fast. And in general, doesn't a battery life like last 3 hours, which is kind of standard for handhelds? So, you know.
I mean, you can say the same thing about a laptop, but like,
Yeah.
the thing about Steam is that they let you do stupid shit. Like, they give you all the control, including the control you probably shouldn't need or don't have.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it's the opposite of what Apple often does. So, like, they're like, yeah, if you want to have a game that's, you know, basically a standing menu running 200 frames a second, sure, yeah, we'll let you do that. I mean, you can also augment it.
But don't blame us if your Steam Deck catches on fire.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, they're like, man, safety's off. You do what you want, but don't blame us if you fuck this thing up.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure if you're running like a hardcore game, yeah, it's gonna last 3 hours. Actually, that ain't bad.
No, you're right about that, because that's one of the things that kind of stuck out to me when I started reviewing gaming laptops. Like, damn, these things don't last more than an hour and a half. You know, like you need to keep them plugged in when you're playing. You know.
Yep.
But yeah, so
you can check your email, but you can't game on the go. Like, there's no gaming on the subway generally.
Yeah. No, I don't think. Again, you don't want to play this motherfucker on the subway. You will get robbed. You know. Especially nowadays, man, shit is getting crazy. You know, but Steam Deck, again, we're all still waiting for ours. Cannot wait. I already did. Was it Linus Tech Tips? Right, he was one of the first people or the first guy that actually got like a real hands-on. He
was showing Forza, and he was also showing if you could try to fit it in your pocket, which you cannot.
Obviously, not even with them big ass.
You need a special pocket like Tobey Maguire had for his Atari Lynx.
But he had the case, and he showed the case. The case had this crazy strap, so you can carry it like a lunch pail.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, Steam Deck. Cool. Yeah. So again, I just threw that in there just from like, yeah, we kind of guessed that. All right. In the last
breaking news, Steam Deck seems cool.
Exactly. Listen, any excuse I have to talk about Steam Deck, I'm going to use it. So I'm hyped. All right. Big Barry Burn. I'm going to run my 2 Steam Decks in Crossfire and see if the battery lasts 5 minutes. Oh man. All right.
Yo, how'd you get 2 Steam Decks?
Yeah, right. How'd you get them, man?
Barry's got ways.
Yeah, he's got connections.
He still has that umbrella connection.
Oh yeah.
What was the whole catch? You just had to buy something within a month's time or something.
No, 6 months. Your account had to be older than 6 months because they don't want fucking people jumping in. You know.
So if it's not his account, then like his buddies or somebody else is like, hey, I'm gonna sign in and order this through your account, whatever.
Yeah. Give me a sec here to load up the next story here.
I think you could still order it. It's not sold.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. It's not like, whatever. All right. Anyway, last story here, and take all this with a grain of salt because it's all rumors about Resident Evil 4 or the remake, which hasn't officially been announced yet. By the way, it was just revealed in a roundabout way, if I remember correctly. But it's not official yet. All right, so I'm reading this off of Fanbyte. So just bear with me because this is the first time I'm reading this shit. Despite not actually being confirmed yet, a remake of Resident Evil 4 considered whatever. Where's the actual shit? Yeah, I'm like, come on. Okay, he's just telling us about the fucking game. I don't care about that. Okay, the title was originally being developed by M2, a studio of former Capcom and mostly ex-Platinum Games developers that were also working on a new Resident Evil 3 remake. Working on Resident Evil 3 remake. Capcom had apparently hoped by greenlighting the project they could entice Shinji Mikami, the original director of the game, who is now at Tango GameWorks, to work on the title alongside old friend Tetsuya Minami. Whatever, who cares? Didn't we read that before? Like apparently the game was in development and then it got scrapped because they were like deviating too much or some shit like that. Which is kind of impressive.
That, but...
All right. It says from that foundation, Capcom is no longer looking for a strict scene-by-scene remake of Resident Evil 4. While the original title began with a rookie cop turned secret agent, it's still whatever. What is all this bullshit?
He's going through the whole rigmarole, giving you histories.
Yeah, in Resident Evil 4 remake, the famous village introduction set piece takes place at night at as does a decent portion of the rest of the game. Okay, because remember the first, when you began the game with broad daylight, but it was like overcast or something. It still felt very creepy though.
Yeah.
The
You're like in the woods. You're in the woods. It's all
Okay, it says the reason for this time change isn't arbitrary. Capcom wants to adjust the tone of the remake into something spookier, taking direct inspiration from discarded Resident Evil 4 demos. That footage, which was used in early GameCube preview reels, I remember those, featured Leon wandering a lonely castle, getting possessed by black smoke, and fighting off living dolls as well as other ghostly manifestations. Some of this stuff made its way into the original game in other ways. Most of it, however, was left in the cutting room floor. Okay, so they're trying to make it spookier. Okay.
Well, the 3.5 stuff, you can find it on YouTube.
I remember that. Yeah.
Very much they took some of it and made Haunted Castle, and he was supposed to have hallucinations. It was more like Clock Tower. He's getting chased around. This guy could jump out of paintings and attack him. But that one was still fixed camera, that version, before they switched to the over the shoulder.
That seems really supernatural. Like, the one thing I don't get about Resident Evil, and I've never gotten, even though I've
Well, that's why they scrapped it, because it was too supernatural for the franchise.
Well, I don't understand the tone length of the franchise to begin with. Like, it seemed like it started out really like hardline science horror, and then it just kind of went like, I don't know, mutants.
Well, I mean, they took that and made Devil May Cry, though. That's where Devil May Cry came from.
That's cool.
Yeah, this version of Resident Evil 4, the one with all the ghosts and shit, they're like, this is too different for Resident Evil. Let's just make it into something else.
Well, like they explain it with science. They're like, there's no supernatural stuff in Resident Evil, generally speaking. Yeah,
so again, that's why they discarded those ideas and never made it into any iteration of the franchise. Because even when you thought it was doing some supernatural shit, it was just some science craziness.
Well, yeah. Like, I still don't understand. Like, weren't they going to go werewolves, or did they go werewolves?
They did
at some point.
That's in Village.
Yeah, it's in Village.
Yeah. One. So, like, what's like zombies, and now where? Like, is there a thread? I don't understand.
Yeah, basically some fucking like prehistoric plague or some shit that's been around forever. That's what Umbrella used to create the various viruses. So
that plague was from the things that the little bug, like the little things that infected the people in Resident Evil. What was it, 4?
Yeah. Pretty much like those are the
Plagas,
ancient things. Yeah, Los Plagas. Yeah.
So Los Plagas was a variant or the source of the T virus, right?
Yes.
No,
at least for that game, or did they retcon it?
Yeah, in 5 they said the progenitor virus came from Africa. There you find the flowers that they originally found.
So that's the part that I was unclear about. I was like, the things in 4 are they're either infected by the progenitor virus or they are the progenitor of the virus.
4 is 100% parasites. It's Las Plagas that got dug up by the
but is Los Plagas the source of the virus, or is Los Plagas something that infected with the T virus?
No, it has nothing to do with T virus.
Interesting.
That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with it. It's another thing, yeah. So
interesting.
It's very convoluted because like Nemesis and Tyrant are a mixture. I think Nemesis and some of the Tyrants are a mixture of parasites and T virus to get them under control. So I think the parasite part came from Las Plagas, but it's something that was ancient that they dug up in a mine, and then it infected the villagers, and it started to spread around. Then there was this cult that wanted to control them and all this stuff, but it didn't have anything to do with Umbrella, pretty much. Like,
the
whole cult and everything. The whole plot of Resident Evil 4 was just Leon is Secret Service. He goes to not Spain to save the president's daughter because she was kidnapped by this cult.
And then happened to be parasite zombie things.
Yes. And
so is it the same thing with the werewolves then? Like, there just happen to be werewolves and like fuck, these guys just have really bad luck.
Oh, Resident Evil 8? No, that was so there was another experiment with this mold stuff now. So Resident Evil 7 introduced like the molded and this kind of like super mold that can infect people but also can be controlled by some of them, and In Resident Evil 8, you find out that the village that Ethan goes to rescue his daughter is the inspiration that Spencer used to create Umbrella. Basically, as a young man, he ended up in that village. He met this woman, Mother Miranda, and then she taught him all this stuff about virology because she was a scientist, and she apparently has been alive a long time because her daughter died of Spanish flu in 1918. So she's been alive a long time. She teaches him about viruses and stuff. He gets inspired, and he also sees a symbol that just happens to look like an umbrella in the village. They have this umbrella-like symbol, but it's supposed to be some crest, right? He sees that and he goes, "I'm gonna found a company with this logo." So they retconned all of Umbrella to be have been created by this lady that inspired
Wild.
Spencer to do everything.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad you guys had that conversation because I would just read the rest of it, so we don't have to go through it. But basically, they said they want to expand some of the side characters' stories. Ada Wong specifically, they want to give her a bigger presence in there. And apparently, we may, according to this, we may hear about the game, like an official announcement, early this year. So we shall see.
Interesting.
We shall see.
That's been rumored a long time, and you're right. I do remember them saying that like something happened. I don't know if it's from Mitsu or something, and they pulled it away from the studio that was working
Yeah.
on it. Like
Mm-hmm.
Capcom pulled it back, and I don't know.
Yeah, but like I've said this a million times when this rumor first started. Resident Evil 4 does not need to be remade. The game is. I don't say this about many games. The game is perfect as is. All you need is just clean up the graphics. The gameplay is perfect. You don't need to fuck it up. So I fear this will fuck it up. And I also even heard some rumors, Chris, very disturbing, that they're gonna update it for modern audiences. You know what that generally means.
Oh,
We don't need to go over it here, but you know what that
God,
means.
no.
Yeah.
You know. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if Ashley becomes the hero of the game now, if you know what I'm saying. You know, but it is what it is. Well, I'll play it obviously, right? Because Resident Evil 2 and 3 were great, but they needed to be remade. Even though 3 could have been better, they left some shit out. But 2 was awesome, But this one is like, how do you perfect perfection? You know, I don't
Maybe they're
know.
just adding cell phones.
Maybe
I
they're
would
doing
think
that.
maybe just enhancing the movement. That's all I can think of. Just the controls a little bit.
Yeah, but even though the things like people complain that you can't move and shoot, but it's like the game was made like that, so
Yeah.
they're gonna have to
Well,
redo all the
or-
enemy behavior if you
Yeah.
move, because otherwise you'll just be killing them super fast,
Let's say they make it like it's two options. Like you could have like the old controls or modern controls.
I
think they did
highly
that
doubt they're gonna go with the
Didn't-
old
didn't they
controls.
do that- Didn't they do that in the HD one? Because I could have swore there was tank controls and then it was like
That was
new
the
controls.
first one, but for
The first one, yeah.
But remember, this game is being in the style of the 2 and 3 remake, so they're not gonna do that. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
but what
yeah.
you do is you just, because the old games are so small now, you just embed them in the game somewhere as a bonus.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's based on a true story, so I guess you can't change it.
So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Where's the evil?
Hey.
Yeah, what's up?
Question for you: do you mind if I take a left turn here?
Now we're pretty much done, so go ahead.
Okay. What's the reception for Dying Light right now? I'm
It's
curious.
not good. It's
I haven't
not
heard
good.
anything.
It's not
You
good.
know?
It's
I've
not,
had-
well. It's,
Have you had? I've had some issues, and I wanted because you've been playing it a lot, and with Chris.
I can't play. I'm locked out. I got the
Oh.
Deathloop.
Oh,
You got
whoa,
the
whoa,
diff- There you go. You see? All right.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
that's another one. That's
Yeah.
one of the other issues. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
Brett
this-
has
no.
the worst fucking luck, man. Jeez.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not
yeah.
him. It's just him with this one.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that get like, here's the deal, and the
Explain.
reason I ask,
Yeah.
this game is a fucking mess.
Wow. The hype.
is-
The hype. What happened,
Yeah.
Brett?
Yeah, no, it is just riddled with shit that you're just like, what is this doing? Like, I want to say just shy, not cyberpunk bad, but like kind of just shy. They're like, literally everybody has run into at least a few bugs at this point.
All right. Did you get the buzz? The buzz noise? The
No, I
audio?
didn't. I didn't get the buzz.
Okay.
I didn't get the buzz, but I've had things like not show up. Like it took forever for your like certain quests to like key off, and like my compass has disappeared. Minor inconveniences until you get stuck in a loop that kills you every 4 seconds, preventing you from continuing the game.
Oh man.
What about at the safe house and not being able to sleep?
No, I haven't gotten that one.
You'll see the stash button and press X and you can do stash, and then when you go to the sleeping bag, there's no option. So then you just have to sit there and wait for time to elapse. And that's what I've been doing. I've tried 3 different safe houses, and the same thing. I can't sleep. There's no option to sleep in the bed.
Your character has insomnia. That's
there you go.
That's a feature, not a bug. So, but yeah, no, it's a fucking mess. But here's the thing that really I find interesting. I'm not mad about it because the game is just so much goddamn fun. I'm like, I just really want to play it, man. Like, I'm upset that I can't play it. Just patch this shit so I can fucking play it, man.
I hope they reduce some of the grind because it seems like they're very
Did we lose
stingy about
Adam?
getting you XP.
The Dying Light people got rid of him.
Damn.
Oh, yo,
Andy's stealing
Techland
around
was
his
like, "Well, you talking
Adam
shit?"
was so mad at this game.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah,
Um,
so I've had some of the issues Adam had, not the audio one. He was complaining because we were on the chat and he was like, I'm just hearing buzzing. I can't hear the conversations or anything. He's had that a couple of times. Now I had one of the safe houses I went back to, I couldn't sleep either. So I'm worried that I have the same problem he has because I wasn't able to sleep since the radio tower in the beginning. I had to tell like, oh shit, now I got this problem? And why? And I swear in the old game it was easier to salvage stuff. I swear there was things everywhere. There was like ambulances and houses and chests you could lockpick all over the place and constantly salvage stuff. And I would just build weapons all the time. Now I'm like running around like, yo, where's the stuff? Where is it? My pipe's all broken and I'm gonna just use my fist eventually. Like I need stuff.
That's crazy. So yeah, no,
Adam got kicked out of the room.
damn, they don't like it. Really don't like him. You know.
Oh,
It was
really?
I just said, how did they kick him? Doesn't
Yeah,
make
because
any
he's
sense.
still on the thing.
Yeah.
Who?
Hey,
Adam, he's part of the show.
Yeah.
Adam Brett.
Oh, who he
that?
is?
Who?
Yo, man. I mean, Brett was talking about people having issues, going to sleep. I think someone got put to sleep.
You know.
Oh shit!
So I have a question for you guys. Like, do you think the amount of fun a video game has, well, let me put it this way. I have heard suspiciously little about how awful and buggy the game is compared to, like Cyberpunk. And I think that's just because people are enjoying it. Do you think that has anything to do?
Well, yeah. Some things will get forgiveness if they're well done, right? Cyberpunk had just too many flaws over everything else. Like it was, and then they completely overpromised, right? When you finally get in the game, it's like janky and not at all what they showed for some people. So that's like a bad example. It had way too many negatives for anybody to forgive it for what it was doing. I mean, even they made a fucking custom Xbox One that the game didn't even run on. It's like that's how bad it was. So yeah, you're not gonna get that. I've been playing Dying Light, and besides a couple of issues, like I've been enjoying it, right? So as long as and Techland said they're going to address this stuff, so I would hope so. I would like them to address like the grind. There should be co-op progression. I don't agree in like I could jump in your game and get you to somewhere, but I get no progression. I just go right back to where I
That's
started.
ridiculous. I just
That
can't
sounds
believe
familiar.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
torn
like-
on that one because I don't want to jump into somebody's game, have them choose all the choices I wouldn't choose, skip all the dialogue, and then I'm like, well, can't do that quest again.
No, but let's say you're playing with your buddies and you're like, all right, we're gonna go through the story together and get the same experience, and then later on you decide you want to play and all that other shit is gone. It's like, oh no, you got to redo it all. It's like, but I had fun. We did this. Why are you doing it?
I just like the option to turn it on and off.
Yeah.
So I can turn it off if I just want to fuck around in randos games.
Sure, okay. Yeah, at least it's an option.
Yeah. I'd see a lot of people having issues with that, and also something about the file being corrupt. That's what corrupts the save file, that it gets confused. So if you were in someone's game and you're playing, and then later on you play solo, somewhere depending on certain points it corrupts because the file can't really pinpoint where you were before because it wasn't your original file. You weren't the host, and then it just craps out. It won't load up.
Oh shit!
That was happening on the PS5 version.
Yep.
It's a mess. You know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
they gotta put more. They gotta put the chest back. Sorry, Tony.
No,
I just got
yeah,
rant about.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
cross
no, no, it's
progression,
fine.
yeah,
I was, yeah.
crossplay
I just have
with
nothing to add
Untitled,
here.
yeah.
But so go ahead. By the way, what the fuck is Crossfire X? Mob hits
Oh,
just
that's
mentioned.
another game I'm playing. That's it's out there. It's a first person shooter. The story was done by the Remedy team, Alan Wake and all of them. Not the multiplayer stuff, but the story mode of it. And the audio's pretty good. I played some of the multiplayer. I jumped in real quick. Pretty bland. They try to make you buy a lot of shit, but I want to get into.
Oh, I
the
heard
story.
about the game. The game was like actually old, right? And it was just like brought back or something with a new story.
Yeah, they're doing this
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
So
Toon Medic, is that my homie
it's
Michael
also on Game
Santiago in there?
Pass. That's the other thing. It's also
Yeah.
on Game Pass. So
Yeah, not interested. Dio, what's going on, brother?
here's a question for the chat and for everyone here. Last Kids on Earth. Have you seen this anime or cartoon or whatever?
We're not
on
talking.
Netflix.
We're
Yeah,
not
it's on
talking
Netflix.
about that right now, man.
No, the reason why is because they have a game that's out.
Oh,
The
okay.
game
Yeah, I
comes
saw it
out
on Game
today.
Pass. Yeah, it's on
and
Game
I'm
Pass.
like, it was like, oh, based off of this cartoon. I'm like, what? I
Yeah, it's
never
on-
heard of this shit. And
It's
an
on
open world
Netflix.
game.
It's just
it's a book.
It's some post-apocalyptic. Yeah, it's a series of books, and they made like a 3D animated series. Netflix got it.
All right, I guess it's doing well. It has a game that's out, so game looks.
And
good.
they'll make games out of
They
anything.
make games out of any bullshit.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah, but usually they go straight to mobile. But this, I don't know. I've never heard of it, so I don't know.
I never
Thought
heard
maybe
of it either.
someone here. See, there you go.
Never heard of it. All right, man. I think we're done here. Let us plug some things if we have anything. Man, you have anything?
Nope. Just waiting for the go ahead. A lot of that stuff. Just a lot of things in the process of being made. Definitely let you go soon. Oh, but actually, wait, hold on. Let me get myself back on camera here.
His camera.
So, by the way, Excellence, the final, well, not the final, but the most recent graphic novel is actually going to be dropping soon. I actually got it in the mail today. So I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be coming out, but it's going to be coming out soon, and that will have the up to issue 12. Yeah, good stuff.
All right, Adam, you got anything?
I want to plug Manny's image that he created today. That is going to go viral. Spread it. That's an amazing image. Look at that. Look at that. Come on now. That's big. There we go. So and we still have 2 more weeks before the return of I Am Negan and The Walking Dead is coming back. The Walking Dead, Mothership. This is the final season, people. It's the final countdown.
We've been in the final season. This is the second part of the final
This
season.
is
There's
the
a
second,
third part.
yeah, and then there's a third part. Yes, there is multiple parts to this.
Yeah, I was
final
about to say this is the second final
So-
season.
But we
Got multiple
also,
endings.
if and maybe we'll talk about that during the podcast for the other one. We for the new Walking Dead spinoff, we saw the casting, and they had Terry Crews in it. So we're like, whoa, what's going on here? So
I
maybe
guess
we'll
he's
talk
not
about
canceled
that.
anymore, huh?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
By the way, Adam,
Yo,
real quick, Better Call Saul comes back in, was it April? So I need to catch up.
yes. Oh, yes. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm glad this is happening, especially with what happened when he had the heart attack.
Yeah, man.
I was nervous, but looks like they were able to pull it off and finish the season.
You
And
can
this is
hear
the final season.
Carlos talking about Better Call Saul on his spaces.
Okay, nice.
Stay tuned.
Good stuff, man. All right, we're out of here, people. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Hit us up on Discord where Mob Hits is always dropping the craziest rumors available. Throwdown is on literally every podcast app on the planet. Throwdown Show, 2 words. Throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. And if you are on YouTube and you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when YouTube premieres go live, man. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight, I was joined by Emilio Lopez,
See you next time.
Chris Seeley,
Take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero,
Peace out.
Adam Vale,
Have a good week, everybody.
Brett
Good week, I should say.
Brett Murdoch,
Deuces.
and Brian Majoma.
How do you make 6 films based on dinosaurs, and yet the CGI looks even worse than the last one.
It's too real. That's why.
No,
It's
it just
No, it's
looks-
not. There's actually reasons why it looks worse than it did before. Because before
somehow
we're not
looks
gonna,
more fake.
we're not gonna get into that. But there's actually
Puppets?
real
You don't like
reasons
the puppets?
why it looks bad now. Why CG in general just looks terrible now. But anyway, we'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace out.
All right, see you in the spaces.
Ladies.